Welcome back. When it comes to major resource projects in Canada, there are a few to choose from. Here's a look by the numbers. There are 504 active natural resource projects in this country worth a combined $632.6 billion. 163 new projects were added between 2023 and 2024 with a potential capital investment of $179.6 billion. Energy projects account for 340 of the total, but their value is a combined $510 billion. 3 out of 5 of those are classified as clean technology, with a total potential investment value of $192.1 billion. Mining is the next biggest chunk of projects at 138 total, worth $117.1 billion. That's an increase of 9 projects and $23.5 billion since 2023. About half of those mining initiatives, or 67, are extracting some form of critical minerals. And of those, 36 of them are focused on copper, lithium, or nickel, 3 components of EV batteries. This week on the Wonk podcast, I sat down with Tim Hodgson, Canada's Minister of Energy and Natural Resources. I asked him about the role Canada is playing in the world right now when it comes to our resources.
Here's what the world has woken up to. If you look at the International Energy Agency's assessment of critical minerals, and I've got the chart here in front of me because I'm getting ready for the upcoming G7 Energy Ministers Conference. Of the 20 critical minerals identified by the IEA, China today controls 50% or more of the production of 14 of those critical minerals. China is the number 1 producer of 19 of those 20 critical minerals. Oftentimes they're doing that through control of processing. That's a challenge for the world. Canada can be the answer. Canada has almost every single mineral on the list that oftentimes we are the largest. We have the largest reserves. We have an opportunity to build the right way with our allies and take those cards out of China's hands and put them into our allies' hands, and that strengthens our hand. The Prime Minister identified the critical minerals buying group as a priority at the last G7 conference in Kananaskis. It'll be a focus of the G7 Energy Minister meeting at the end of October in Toronto. We are working with our like-minded allies, both in the G7 and in NATO, to try and change that dynamic and take that stranglehold grip that one country has on critical minerals. Because as you've pointed out, this is key to energy transition. This is key to our new economy. If we are going to go to that new economy, all of these minerals are critical to that success.
Does that mean you would consider welcome support processing in this country? Because we've really moved away from it for decades and decades in all resource sectors.
Absolutely. We are very focused on not just mine development, but value-added processing. In several of the conversations with the premiers who are focused on their particular province's resources, they've been very, very clear that they want us to help with the value-added processing. And strategically, that's important to our allies too. I mean, one of the ways that China has got a stranglehold on these things is not so much they don't have all of these the reserves in their country, but they control the processing.
Given the ambition of his ministry's agenda, I asked Hodgson what his mental picture of success will be.
One of the things about this prime minister is he does come from a business background. Whenever we set goals as a government, one of his first questions is, what are the KPIs? What are the key performance indicators? He set right up front a key performance indicator is we will attract $500 billion of private sector capital into the Canadian economy. His view which I think is a smart view, was if we can do that, we will give ourselves more than any other country can take away from us. We will control our own destiny. We will put Canadians to work in good paying jobs. We will retool our economy in a way where we can sell our natural resources, our energy and natural resources to all of our like-minded allies, not just our allies who we share a border with. And so my perspective is $500 billion of private sector capital attracted to the Canadian economy is the first test. The first group of projects attracts $60 billion. So we're on the way. We have more work to do, as the Prime Minister has said. We'll have another tranche we announced for Grey Cup Day. And I know you're from Winnipeg, so I'm going to be there cheering the Bombers on. There'll be another tranche by the Stanley Cup playoffs, and there'll be another tranche by the World Cup. And I think the idea and the why I went through that is the second testament is that when we have a strong, visible record of, I'll stay with the football analogy, of punching a series of projects into the end zone and scoring a touchdown. And to me, a touchdown is not just a shovel in the ground, but an operating project that's generating revenue for the proponent, for the people in the community, for the provincial and federal treasuries. When we start to have those series of projects punching the ball into the end zone, it demonstrates to the world Canada is a great place to, and the positive cycle keeps going. So those are the two metrics for me.
I also asked Hodgson how long the government needs to make real progress on some big projects.
I don't think this has an end point. I think it's a new way of thinking about things. It's kind of going back to basics on how we get things done as a country. Again, it's sort of adopting the mindset of, do we want to responsibly grow? It's not if, but it's how. And that is the retooling that we are going through right now. I think the hope is that becomes a methodology going forward. My hope is in perpetuity. But let's see where we get to. I feel very good about our early steps. We've been in office now for less than 6 months. I think we've accomplished a fair bit. We have a lot more to do. Canadians expect a lot from us. I'll end. That yes, it is true that the U.S. has caused this. They've decided to change the way the global trading system operates. But in many ways, this is a very good thing for Canada. When we are completely reliant on one trading partner, it's great as long as that trading partner wants to play by the rules that we think are fair and just. When we see that they no longer share those views, it's time for us to diversify our economy. That's in our interests. So we can thank them for poking us and prodding us to give ourselves more than anyone can take away from us.
That was some of my conversation with Tim Hodgson, Minister of Energy and Natural Resources, on this week's episode of the Wonk Podcast. Coming up, young people are finding it hard to get jobs, but are they being intentionally shut out? That's still ahead. But first, independent ice cream maker Chapman's is planning a $200 million investment in Ontario to grow its operations there. The family-run company said business is booming, and one of its best customers, Premier Doug Ford, applauded the move. Chapman said it will also take the opportunity to expand into new international markets. Amidst a host of businesses slimming down, it was definitely a cool story. We're back after this.